It's that time of year. Many start thinking of New Year's resolutions. Well, this year the city of Columbus is on board after finding itself in an $881,000 hole. At the December 18th council meeting, members voted to place a freeze on spending. However, that raised a few red flags. This morning, council voted to lift that freeze, and they're making plans for this fiscal year.
How can you operate the city with a freeze on spending of everything? It's no way for you to operate.
A freeze on the city's budget basically meant a city shutdown. This morning, council members voted to rescind that freeze. But that still doesn't fix the $881,000 deficit the city is in. Mayor Smith says he's talked to all department heads concerning the budget shortfall.
We have to be more frugal in our spending, even from the mayor and the council standpoint, as far as travel.
So how did we get to this point? Mayor Smith says travel expenses and overtime in the police and fire departments were the biggest expenditures.
That was the buck as far as on travel, the mayor and the council, more than the department heads.
Cutbacks on traveling has already happened. The mayor says the midwinter MML trip in January has already been canceled. As far as overtime goes, Mayor Smith says the fire department has mandatory overtime hours to meet. Other times, overtime hours will just happen.
If it's a homicide, any emergency type situation that occur, they're going to be overtime. I mean, and that's understood.
To stay out of the negative, council voted this morning to form a committee that will monitor the city's spending budget each month.
We'll look at it closely from a month-to-month standpoint, and then as far as the spending, and then we'll give that a copy of what we discussed to the council meeting.
Now, that committee will be the mayor, chief operating officer, chief financial officer, and 2 council members. And Mayor Smith also says that overtime will also include security for special events.